and it worked on a principle of total internal reflection. So there will be the image will be captured here. It'll get totally internally reflected by this by this glass bundles, and it'll come up to your viewing point. These are all CMOS cameras. Okay, there's just a camera here. Okay, if you take the fiber optic bronchoscope and bend it like this, what will happen to the cables? The glass cables will break. Once it breaks, total internal reflection will not occur. You will still see an image. You will see a refracted image. The glottis will be here. You will see it here. You will try and go here, but actually the glottis will be there. So you cannot damage any of the fiber bundle. But this is a CMOS camera. Look at this. Image is still the same there. Nothing will change. Okay, the CMOS camera it is called. It's a chip. So there is an image the camera picks up here. It converts it to electric impulses, and that electric is brought to the this thing and converted into an image here. So there's no bundles that will get broken up. Now apart from this camera, in the original thing you had this light bundle and you'll have this glass fiber bundle. Those bundles are not here. You just have a light, you have a CMOS camera. You have two other channels in this. One is a channel through which you can use suction. Okay, you can connect a suction here. And this activates the suction. So you'll hold this in your hand like this. This will be on the toggle lever. This will be for the suction. You see a port here. This port you can use to either give oxygen or to inject drugs. Local anesthetic, spray as you go technique, you can do it here. So this is how you hold it in your hand. Okay, this holds the suction. Every time you press it, it gets activated. And this moves the, if you move it down, it'll go up. If you move it down, it'll go up. If you move it up, it'll go down. What we normally tend to do is we tend to move it very exaggerated. Once you are in the airway, the movement should be very, very little. Okay, very little. See, just that much you have to search your way. This is up and down movement. How do you turn left and right? What lever will turn and right? There's no lever to turn it left and right. So you have to turn the whole thing left and right. So the whole thing turns on. So you hold this straight and you turn it left and right. Okay. Now in nasal, there are three ways of doing a nasal intubation. One, you can straight away go into the nose. The endotracheal tube will be railroaded here. You find out, go into the trachea, and then you put the tube down, railroad the tube. In second method, what you can do, you can actually put the tube in the pakka. Just to. What we'll do, we'll just put the tube in first till it comes into past the nasopharynx, and then through the tube you can go in. Okay, so initial part is bypassed. What is the disadvantage? Sometimes when you're putting the tube, if it starts to bleed, then that becomes a problem. Okay, the third method that has been described, which I have never done, is they take a nasopharyngeal airway and they cut it open, and then they'll put the nasopharyngeal airway in instead of the tube. They'll put the tube will be up here. When you say the tube is up here, just put this through. Oh, this is how we start. Okay, we put a plaster and we fix it there. So what they'll do, they'll put a nasopharyngeal airway here, cut, and then they'll put this through. The tube is there. They'll identify. Then they'll take the nasopharyngeal airway out. You can split it open, and then the thing goes. So these are the three methods. When you go in, there is something called looking. Keep the air spaces in the middle of your screen. I'll just show you what it is. The second thing is you'll get two things that are called red out or pink out and white out. Pink out is you're touching the mucosa of some structure. If you pink out, withdraw back and re-identify your anatomy. If it's white out, it's secretions. So you have to use good suction. Generally, I find that if you use a suction attached to this, plus a suction in the mouth, somebody else helping you, that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, this alone is not enough to this thing. Okay, so we'll just show you what do you mean by air spaces. Can you see this pink? This is pink. I'm looking for some black space there. Can you see that black space there? Can you see that black space there? That is how an air space looks. Okay, can you see this? This black space. All these black spaces. No, you should try and get into those black. See how I'm turning it? See? I'm going in now, trying to bring that black space back into center, going in, trying to bring that back space in, up, down, that's not the right plane. See? So I'm bringing that black space, keeping it in the center, going in. So I can see the epiglottis now. So even now you can see there's a pink space, there's a black space there. That is called the air space. You keep that in the middle, always. Don't go very close and change. If you go very close, it'll turn acutely, you'll not get the tube in. So whatever adjustment, see I have a doubt, I come back in or out again. I'm searching where the black space is there. Once again, bringing it to the center, slowly bringing it back to the center. See, minimal movements. We're going, keeping it in the center, slowly advancing. Epiglottis is well seen. Now I'm just seeing minimal movement, seeing where it is. Now we can see the cords, trying to keep the cords in the center. Down is the esophagus. Okay, now once you see the cords, you know what you're doing. Okay, so you bring it back once again to the center. Here itself, when you're a little away itself, you keep it to the center. If you're doing spray as you go technique, this is a place to stop and give local anesthetic. If you get any closer than that, the cough reflex will come. Give it here, wait for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then you can go in. So, when you enter the nose, first you have to look down. The black space or the air space to go through the nose is in the lower place. So you'll go into the nose and you look down. You'll find the black space and you'll go in. Once you come into the nasopharynx, you have to look up, because the trachea and the larynx is upstairs. So you come up, you look up, then you find the larynx. Once you go back, once you see the larynx, to go into the trachea, you'll have to once again look down. So look at it, how it is. See, I'm here now. So I'm kept it in the center. See, I have to look up to take it there. So I've come till here. Now I have to look down to get it into the trachea. See, look at how the image moves there. See, I'm moving it down to bring it to the center. Okay. So once we are in, we keep going in. We have to stop about 3 tracheal rings above. That is enough. Okay. See, keep that in the center. Even in the trachea, you try and keep it in the center. So that's your carina. Okay. And you can see there are 3 tracheal rings above the carina. This is the best place to stop. And then you just pass your tube in. Tube should be well lubricated. There are some people, what they do, they put jelly in fully and then you put it in. That's a bad idea, because then you'll get a lot of white out. Your vision will be obstructed. Okay. So what you do, if you put jelly also, you put suction and clear the jelly out, or put jelly on your scope sides. Don't put jelly into the nose. Okay. There is one scope similar there, one scope here. You can hands on. If you have any issues, you have any doubts, we are happy to clear it for you. Come. So pediatric, there are 2 sizes available. One is I think 2.2 that allows a size 3 tube, and there's a 3.5 that allows a 4.1 tube. So basically we don't have to worry. It'll just tell you, the tube scope will tell you very clearly what size it's used for. Why not just buy a pediatric scope and use it for adults? It'll be easy, all tube size will go. The difference between this and the diameter, if it is more than 1 centimeter, you'll never be able to railroad a tube. Okay, so the scope will be inside. I'll just show you on that scope. If you did this scope, okay, and put this tube in, it'll not, it's length. So yeah, if it goes in, see, this will go inside the thing, but this will go and hitch against the cords. It'll never go in. So the distance, the gap between the diameter of the scope and this should be not between 0.5 and 1 it should be. It should not be more than that. Otherwise you will get into the trachea, but you'll not be able to intubate. Okay. For that we have another technique. If you are going to use this thing, we have this thing called as the entry catheter. So what we do, we put it in. This unfortunately is an adult, and we are doing we identify. We go in, it'll just be like a endotracheal. You identify. Once we identify what we do, we push this entry catheter in and we come out. So the entry catheter is there. The advantage of the entry catheter is you can connect it. You can connect it to oxygen. You can connect it to ETCO2 monitor. Okay. Once we do that, what we do, we take an endotracheal tube. We put the endotracheal tube in. We remove the connector off, and then we go back through this. We go into the trachea. We see the trachea. This was thin. Now this is thick. Now on this, if you railroad, it'll go. Once you railroad, you'll go in, push it some more. Then you remove the whole thing out. You don't remove it yet. What you do, you cuff inflate, and then you go back inside again, and you recheck. Okay, that's the procedure you do with an entry catheter. Okay, so if you have a small size FOB that might serve more cases. You plan to buy a small size FOB, you can. The problem with a 2.2 with a 3 tube is it does not have working channels at all. You can neither give oxygen nor can you give suction on it. So that is the limitation. So most of the adults have 4 channels. Pediatric, you have to be very careful about how you choose your channel. Okay, that's one part of the problem. Anything else, sir, that we need to add? I really don't know what is the length of it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 centimeters. So it varies. Adults have a little longer. So this is it. Where else do you use this pediatric fibroscope? Excellent. In double lumen tube, this thing, endobronchial air, adult will not go. So we use this to check the tube portion. Every time you have a desaturation in a FOB, in a double lumen tube with one lung ventilation, the first thing you have to do is check the tube. So you can use a pediatric scope. That's why we use a pediatric scope in adult. So what some people do is they put a 3-way connector here. This is where you give the drug. No, let's assume we give a drug here. They put a 3-way here, okay? On the 3-way adapter, one side they keep a syringe with drug. On the other side, they connect it to oxygen. So 3-way is switched off to the drug. You give oxygen. When you have to give drug, you open the 3-way and you push the drug. This 4 liters per minute oxygen that is flowing kind of nebulizes. It doesn't make it small part, but nebulizes and spreads it faster. So that's what it is. If you don't have it, what I like to do, I don't use that. So I give local anesthetic. I have a 10 ml syringe with air. I take that and I connect it and I push it with the air. Otherwise, the drug will stay in your FOB itself, will not go to the patient. That's what I do. Okay. But I think the key to success is, apart from everything else, having good suction. That's the thing. And I always find that the suction that is there on the FOB alone is not enough. So I like somebody to have another suction in the mouth. In this thing, no, there are 2 openings. One will be here, one will be here. You get a connector set with the machine, they give it to you. It'll be like a bottle-like thing, squeezy bottle-like thing, and it'll have 2 plastic tubes with attachments. The attachments naturally fit into this. You fill it up with water, you attach it naturally with this, and you just pump it. So it'll get cleared. They also give you a brush. The brush is on a guide wire-like thing. So in these channels, you can put the brush and you can just push it out. Okay. So if it's your institute and you're running the FOB, you can let anybody else handle the FOB. Cleaning alone, you do and keep. Because especially if you're doing an FOB, not in CMOS cameras. CMOS cameras are very user-friendly. If you're using an FOB, if somebody bites or one wrong bend, couple of glass cables go, your image is gone. Any other doubt that I can take? But let's do one thing. You people start hands-on. As you get along, if you have a doubt, I'll help you out. Okay? இங்க இருக்கும் அது எடுத்தாச்சு இப்படி இருக்கும் இது வந்து அப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ணி விட்டோம்னா இது இருக்கும். It's not there on this piece. So this is how you hold it in your hand. Yeah, it's not there. That piece itself is not there. Okay, correct. Okay. If you see there, you'll have in this there will be a device that sits. That device itself will have a projection there. That will attach. You don't need a separate attachment for that. See. Normal, your regular suction you can do. Even that is inadequate because the channel for sucking is very less. And if the secretions are very viscid, they'll not come out. Good, nice. Hold this straight. Good. Not in this. This is a CMOS camera. Okay, I'll tell you this. Okay, if you are using a FOB, standard FOB, first thing you have to do is you have to focus. That is called diopter adjustment. Once you adjust diopter, and if you're using a camera, you also have to do white balance. Yeah. Only like on that camera piece, there'll be a button called white balance. You press white balance so that the color of the tissues become normal. If it sees white as white, then it'll show you the color of tissues as natural color, or you might see an abnormal color. Normal. Then the rest of the tissue will show its natural color, so that you are not misled.
Sir, there will be one. This is okay, sir. Sometimes we ourselves have to look.
Yes. That also diopter adjustment. What you do, you keep some written material there. Keep it and you diopter adjust. If you're wearing glasses, you can diopter adjust with your glasses or without your glasses, whatever you're comfortable. Some of my colleagues remove their glasses and they diopter adjust. I like to do it with my glasses on because I'm doing bifocal. So if I'm looking here and suddenly I need something and I turn around, I can't see anything. So I do with my glasses on. Yes, go. Take it slowly up there. Go to that black spot there. That black spot. Go there and see what is there. Slowly. Keep this straight. Yeah, correct. Go there, go, excellent. Go there, go there. Keep that black in the middle. Keep that black in the middle, correct. Keep that black in the middle, very good. Keep going there. Slowly, slowly, slow movement. Keep going there. Yes. Correct, correct, keep correct. Excellent. Go, keep slowly, slowly. Bring the image to the middle. See, already your glottis is visible there. The chords are visible. Okay? Gently, gently. Correct. Nice. Bring it to the center. Bring it up. Don't get too correct. Keep it there. Yeah. From distance itself, we should keep it in the center. Lift it up, go up, move it up, move the image up. Yeah, go now. Go slowly. Yeah, slowly. So instead of that, you can connect the three window. Or else what you can do what is called the Nodisat technique. You put nasal cannula, connect it to 15 liters oxygen, and you do this. That oxygen will be coming through the nose. Correct. Keep it in the middle, little up, image up, image up. Yes, go now, gently. Good, good. Lift it up. It's gone away from the, keep the air space up. No, opposite direction, little more. Yes, good. That black should be always in the middle of your screen. Lift it up. Lift the image up. Good. Yeah. Rotate. Good. Lift it up. Lift the image up. Correct. Go. Correct. Keep going. That's your carina. Okay. Lift it. Show me the carina properly. Move it and show. Right. Very good. That's it. Come out a little. I want to see some tracheal rings. Keep this straight. Keep your hand straight. Little more. Enough. This looks good. So I can see 2 or 3 tracheal rings and I can see the carina. Best place to send your thing. So sometimes what happens, this is called identified. You're inside. Railroading might be a problem. Show me the tube. See, if you look at it, the cords are like this. It's okay, just to show you. The cords are like this. Your FOB will probably be sitting here. Okay. So when you go, this curve will take it to the anterior part. Okay. So this is where you'll get a problem when you have a railroading. So then what you do, you turn it anti-clockwise 90 degree. And if you still don't get it, you turn it anti-clockwise more 90 degrees and you put it up. So what some people do, they load the tube up with the Murphy's eye facing anteriorly. Murphy's eye should face upwards. If it faces upwards, chances of it going up better. If you don't, you turn another 90 degrees. Come out, you can have a go. Slowly.
But doing so, it's more chance of damaging.
No. This is so what we do. Before we put this into hot water. It becomes softer, so the damage becomes less. I generally prefer to use a flexometallic tube. Okay, so it's quite soft. But the tube of choice that has highest success rate is called as a Parker Flex tip. So if you go to the next station, you'll see something called a Blockbuster LMA. In that, look at the tip of that tube. That is called a Parker Flex tip. That's the best. Okay. It looks very easy. In real life, it's not so easy. Patient is swallowing and moving, and it's very difficult. Yeah, but we don't do percutaneous tracheostomy there. It's an ICU procedure largely. Percutaneous tracheostomy is an elective procedure. It is not an emergency procedure. And percutaneous tracheostomy requires an FOB. Yeah, then you can. Yeah, anterior elevation. This is better. Okay, இது போட்டனா success rate is better. Okay. இல்ல ஒன்றும் ஆகாது இது இந்த டியூப் மேலே இருக்கும். நீ ஜஸ்ட் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறதுக்கு மட்டும்தான் போகிறோம். Your movements were good, but gentler. Smaller movements. You're making big movement. இங்கே மேலே இருந்தால் கீழே போயிடும், கீழே இருந்தால் மேலே போயிடும். Gentler movement, lesser movement. எங்கே இருக்குன்னு தெரிஞ்சுட்டு அப்புறமா அந்த டைரக்ஷனில் நம்ம மூவ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
One of the lectures has been, it's also been described in literature that local anesthetic spray panna the glottis go into spasm.
No. What we do is we spray and we come back a little. Okay, unless he's got a reactive airway. Okay, severely bronchospastic airway. It is okay. So actually, we give Xylocard for reactive airways. You're not allowed to spray. It's better not to spray. But from our experience, Bradley's, wheezing airways, we don't do FOBs. It's difficult because FOB will obstruct most of this thing. And it's a foreign body. No matter how much you give, it will cause problem. So if you think there is a difficult airway with a bronchial asthma, I'd probably do a surgical airway. Yeah. What is safe is the best thing. Okay. If you get stuck, what will you do? If you get a laryngospasm, what will you do? You want to know what I actually do? Two wonder drugs, ketamine and magnesium. Yeah. Just take ketamine 2 milligram per kg, give it 99.9% of the time it will go away. 99.9% of the time, bronchospastic patient, you bring him prepared. Still he goes into bronchospasm because your plane of anesthesia is not good. Okay. So that is one mistake people do. In modern day, another mistake people do is by mistakenly taking them on a desflurane machine. Desflurane is an irritant, so you always be careful about what inhalation you're using. If you only have a desflurane machine, better to go with Tiva with propofol. Yeah, rather than do this thing. But ketamine and magnesium are wonder drugs. Ketamine is 2 milligram per kg, magnesium is 50 milligram per kg. Yes, come out and go. Only then you'll get a feel. Come.
My question is, we are blindly anyway.
Putting the tube. That is one of the limitation. If you want to see the tube go past the trachea, the only way to do it is if you use a video laryngoscope. So if you've got a fragile tracheal cord mass that you don't want to avulse, you cannot use an FOB. Because FOB போடும்போது நீ அவாய்ட் பண்ணி நல்லா போயிடுவேன். Tube வந்து பிளைண்டாக தான் தள்ளுறோம். Okay, so FOB will help you identify. The tube pushing is a blind procedure. That is why after putting, you have to recheck the position and come. And you also have to confirm within capnography. If you use this and you push the tube in, sometimes it has been found that it pulls the, because it's got no strength by itself, it pulls it out and the tube still goes to the esophagus. Okay, so there is no guarantee that your tube is gone into the trachea. So you have to reconfirm it. You have to confirm it with capnography. No other way to know. The tube going in is a blind procedure, even with FOB.
Now introducing this.
Keep it straight. Keep this straight. Yeah, come.
Sir, one more doubt. Sir. Why should I want to? Because I can negotiate just blindly to the.
So in fiber optic, if you use pressure, the fiber optic bundles will break. That is why we have to do it. And sometimes what will happen, the moment you put, there is some secretion here, the lens will fog. If you go inside in your lens fogs, there are only two things you can do. One, you can touch the tissue and see if it works. If you touch the pink tissue, sometimes the fogging will go. If it doesn't, you have to remove the whole scope up, wipe it. So the whole procedure has to start all over again. That is why we try and go through the nose scale. So I like to put an endotracheal tube, put nice suction, go through the endotracheal tube. 50 milligram per kg is good. Yeah. First go with ketamine. 2 milligram per kg, 90% of the cases go away. So what I do, I give ketamine. Even if she improves, I put magnesium into the drip. I just set up a slow infusion of magnesium. So that's okay. Keep it in the center. Don't go too close. Keep it in the center. Correct. Now it's a go slowly. Black space is down. Bring it. Correct. Bring the black space more up. Yeah. Correct. Great. Correct. Keep the black space in the middle. You can still see the back space. Correct. That's the way to go. That black space is called the air space. The air space should be in the middle from far away. Don't go very close. If you go very close, you have to change angle very acutely. Tube won't go. So here itself, you have to change your angle and then go closer. Change angle, go closer. Yeah.